The night was still, and the air carried a whisper of something sacred. A soft glow illuminated the room as if unseen hands had lit a divine flame. In the silence, a presence was felt, one that brought comfort, strength, and an undeniable sense of protection. Archangel Michael stood at the threshold of the unseen world, his armor gleaming with the light of the heavens. He did not speak, yet his presence carried a message, a reassurance that those who walk in faith are never alone. His wings, vast and mighty, seemed to shield the soul from all harm, a reminder that the battle between light and darkness is fought not with fear but with devotion. As the journey of this sacred prayer begins, the heart must open to receive the blessings that flow from the Blessed Virgin Mary. Each day, a step closer to grace, a moment deeper in connection with the divine. Her love is gentle, yet it moves like a river, washing away all burdens and filling the spirit with peace. Let this prayer be a path, a bridge between the earthly struggles and the celestial embrace of the Holy Mother. Through these 30 days, her guidance will illuminate the darkest corners, bringing clarity where confusion lingers. Those who commit to this journey will find themselves transformed, their spirits lifted, and their souls embraced by divine mercy. Type 333 to receive your blessing. The first words of prayer rise like incense, curling toward the heavens with quiet reverence. The Blessed Virgin Mary listens, her heart open, her hands extended in a gesture of compassion. She knows the weight that rests upon each soul, the hidden struggles, the silent tears, and the whispered hopes. She stands as an eternal mother, a protector to all who seek refuge under her mantle. Her love does not waver, nor does it demand perfection, it simply calls, waiting for the faithful to answer. Those who turn to her will find no judgment, only an endless well of grace and understanding. In the stillness, a warmth settles over the heart, a knowing that prayers do not go unheard. The Blessed Virgin Mary intercedes, carrying the petitions of the faithful to the divine throne. Each word spoken in faith is a seed planted in the soil of the heavens, destined to bear fruit in its time. With every passing day, the connection deepens, the weight lessens, and the path becomes clearer. Faith is not an instant transformation but a journey, one that unfolds with patience, with trust, and with the quiet assurance that the Holy Mother walks beside those who call upon her name. Type 777 to receive divine protection. The nights may be long, and the battles unseen, but the faithful are never truly alone. The Blessed Virgin Mary watches over them, her presence a soft glow in the shadows, a gentle whisper in the silence. Her love does not fade, nor does her protection waver. To pray is to step into the sacred space where heaven touches earth. It is to acknowledge that there is more than what the eyes perceive, that there is a hand guiding, a voice calling, a love sustaining. It is in this space that fears are quieted, that burdens are lifted, and that the soul finds rest. The days may carry struggles, moments of doubt, and trials that seem insurmountable. Yet, through it all, the Blessed Virgin Mary remains a steadfast presence, offering strength to the weary and light to those who walk in darkness. Her embrace is not one of fleeting comfort but of everlasting grace. In her presence, the soul learns to surrender, not in defeat, but in trust. To let go of fear, to release the chains of worry, and to walk forward with faith is to step into the fullness of her divine guidance. She asks not for perfection, but for a heart willing to trust, to believe, and to follow. Type 999 to receive a breakthrough. The journey through this sacred prayer continues, and with each passing day, the presence of the Blessed Virgin Mary becomes even more profound. Her love is like the morning sun, gently rising, casting its golden light upon the weary heart. There is no hesitation in her embrace, no distance too far for her to reach. In moments of sorrow, she stands as a mother of compassion, her heart aching for the pain carried by her children. She does not turn away from suffering, nor does she ignore the cries of those who seek her. Instead, she reaches out, her hands a source of comfort, her voice a whisper of reassurance. Through this prayer, a connection is forged, one that transcends time, space, and earthly limitations. The faithful who devote themselves to these 30 days will feel her presence more deeply with each passing moment. It is not a fleeting feeling, but a lasting bond, a divine closeness that remains even in silence. To pray is to enter into the sacred, to step beyond the distractions of the world and into the embrace of the divine. The Blessed Virgin Mary waits patiently for those who seek her, never forcing, never demanding, but always ready to welcome. It is in this place of prayer that transformation begins, where the soul finds the peace it has long sought. Type 444 to receive the Holy Mother's grace. The trials of life may be many, but the protection of the Blessed Virgin Mary is unwavering. She stands like a fortress, shielding her children from harm, covering them with the mantle of her love. No storm is too strong, no battle too great, for her intercession is powerful beyond measure. Each day of this prayer brings new strength, new revelations, and a deeper sense of divine purpose. The heart that once felt burdened begins to feel lighter, the mind once clouded with doubt begins to clear. This is the work of divine grace, unfolding slowly, yet surely, within the soul. With faith, every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow, to trust, and to surrender more fully. The Blessed Virgin Mary does not promise a life free of trials, but she does promise to walk beside those who call upon her. She is the guiding star, the beacon that leads through the darkest of nights. In the quiet moments of reflection, her presence can be felt, sometimes in a whisper, sometimes in a sudden wave of peace that washes over the heart. She is near, always near, waiting for the faithful to reach out, to open their hearts, and to receive her boundless love. Type 555 to invite divine intervention. The enemy seeks to bring fear, to plant seeds of doubt, to shake the foundations of faith. But those who place their trust in the Blessed Virgin Mary stand firm, unshaken by the storms of life. Her protection is a shield, her guidance a light, and her love an unbreakable bond. Archangel Michael stands at the gates, his sword drawn, his presence fierce and unwavering. He fights not for those who doubt, but for those who stand in faith, for those who refuse to surrender to the darkness. His strength is not his own, but a reflection of divine power, given to protect those who walk the path of righteousness. With each prayer spoken, the walls of fear begin to crumble. What once seemed impossible now appears within reach, for nothing is beyond the power of divine intercession. The Blessed Virgin Mary hears every plea, sees every tear, and answers in ways that may not always be seen, but are always felt. The days may pass, but the transformation taking place within the soul is eternal. Faith is not a moment, but a journey, one that leads deeper into the mysteries of divine love. To walk with the Blessed Virgin Mary is to walk in the light, to be covered in grace, and to be lifted beyond the trials of the world. Type 888 to receive heavenly peace. As the prayer continues, the soul begins to recognize the presence of divine protection more clearly. Signs appear, sometimes subtle, sometimes undeniable, but always there. The Blessed Virgin Mary works in ways beyond human understanding, her intercession moving through the unseen realms. She is the Mother of Mercy, the Queen of Peace, the gentle hand that wipes away every tear. She does not forget the prayers spoken in desperation, nor does she overlook the silent cries of the heart. Even in moments of doubt, she remains close, waiting for the soul to turn back to her embrace. Each day brings new opportunities to trust, to surrender, and to step deeper into faith. The struggles of the past begin to lose their grip, replaced by a peace that surpasses all understanding. This is the work of divine grace, transforming, renewing, and restoring what was once broken. The faithful who commit to these 30 days will find themselves changed in ways they never expected. The burdens that once seemed unbearable will feel lighter, the worries that once consumed the mind will fade. The presence of the Blessed Virgin Mary brings not just comfort, but a renewal of strength. Type 222 to receive an answered prayer. The power of prayer is beyond measure, a force that moves through the heavens and reaches the throne of the divine. The Blessed Virgin Mary carries the prayers of the faithful, presenting them with love, with faith, and with a mother's heart. She intercedes, not because she must, but because she chooses to, out of love, out of compassion, out of an unbreakable bond with those who seek her. Archangel Michael remains at the side of the faithful, his watchful eyes guarding against the forces that seek to bring doubt and fear. His sword, glowing with divine fire, is raised not in anger, but in defense of those who walk in faith. He stands as a warrior of the heavens, a protector of those who refuse to be swayed by the darkness. The journey is not always easy, but it is always worth it. The trials, the struggles, the moments of uncertainty, all become stepping stones on the path to deeper faith. The Blessed Virgin Mary does not promise a life without hardship, but she does promise to walk beside those who trust in her. With every prayer spoken, a new layer of grace unfolds. What once seemed distant now feels close, what once felt heavy now feels light. The presence of the divine is not just a belief, it is a reality, felt in the deepest parts of the soul. Type 666 to break every chain of hardship. As the final days of this sacred prayer approach, the transformation within the soul becomes undeniable. The burdens that once seemed impossible to carry have been lifted, replaced by a deep sense of peace. The worries that once clouded the mind have been calmed, replaced by a trust that cannot be shaken. The Blessed Virgin Mary remains, as she always has, watching over those who seek her, guiding those who trust her, and embracing those who call upon her name. Her love does not waver, nor does it fade, it is eternal, unwavering, and pure. This journey of 30 days is not the end, but the beginning. The soul that has walked through this prayer has been changed, strengthened, and renewed. Faith has deepened, trust has grown, and the presence of the divine has become an unshakable truth. Those who complete this prayer will find themselves covered in grace, shielded by divine protection, and lifted into a new realm of faith. The Blessed Virgin Mary does not forget, does not abandon, and does not turn away. She is the eternal Mother, the guiding star, the refuge in every storm. Type 111 to receive divine favor. The journey through this sacred prayer is not one of mere words, but of transformation. Each prayer spoken, each moment spent in devotion, is a step deeper into the embrace of the Blessed Virgin Mary. She calls, gently and lovingly, waiting for her children to respond, to open their hearts fully to the grace that she pours out so freely. The days may pass, and the world may continue its hurried pace, but those who commit to this prayer will find themselves moving to a different rhythm, a rhythm of peace, of trust, of divine alignment. The burdens of yesterday begin to lose their weight, and the worries of tomorrow fade into the background. The presence of the Holy Mother brings a stillness, a certainty that no matter what may come, all is held within the hands of divine love. Some days, the prayers may feel effortless, flowing from the heart like a song carried by the wind. Other days, the words may come with difficulty, weighed down by doubts or distractions. But even in those moments, the Blessed Virgin Mary hears. She does not ask for perfect prayers, only for sincere hearts willing to turn toward her with faith. This prayer is a bridge between the earthly and the divine, a sacred conversation that does not require eloquence, only honesty. The Blessed Virgin Mary listens not just to the words spoken aloud but to the silent cries of the soul. She understands the struggles too deep for words, the wounds that remain unseen, and the hopes that feel too fragile to be spoken. Type 1010 to receive inner healing. Through this prayer, the soul begins to recognize that it is not alone in its battles. The Blessed Virgin Mary walks beside the faithful, carrying their burdens, whispering words of encouragement, and guiding them toward the light. There is no suffering she does not see, no struggle she does not understand. She, too, knew sorrow, knew loss, knew the weight of carrying the unknown. But she also knew faith. She knew the strength that comes from trusting even when the path ahead is unclear. She knew the power of surrendering to divine will, of opening the heart fully to the plans of heaven. Those who walk in faith, who place their trust in her, will find themselves carried by a love greater than they have ever known. There are moments in life when the burdens feel too great, when the trials seem endless, and the road ahead appears impossible. But within those moments, grace is at work. The Blessed Virgin Mary does not allow her children to walk alone. She places unseen hands upon, fills their spirits with a quiet but unshakable courage. Those who trust in her, who walk this path of prayer with sincerity, will come to know a peace that cannot be shaken. It is not a peace that comes from the absence of trials, but a peace that remains unbroken even in the midst of them. This is the power of divine intercession. The Blessed Virgin Mary does not merely hear prayers, she carries them, lifting them to the heavens where they are met with mercy and answered in perfect time. Some prayers are answered in ways that are seen, in miracles that unfold before the eyes. Others are answered in silence, in the quiet shifting of circumstances, in the slow but steady transformation of the heart. Faith does not demand to see, but to trust. To trust that even in the waiting, grace is moving. To trust that even in the darkness, light is being prepared. To trust that no prayer, no cry, no whisper of the soul goes unheard. The Blessed Virgin Mary listens with a heart full of compassion, and her love moves in ways beyond human understanding. Type 1212 to receive divine clarity. With every day that passes in this sacred prayer, the connection deepens. The veil between the seen and the unseen begins to thin, and the presence of the Holy Mother becomes more tangible. Some may feel it in a sudden wave of peace that settles over them. Others may see it in the gentle signs that appear throughout the day, a flickering candle, a feather on the path, an unexpected moment of stillness. These are not coincidences. They are reminders that the Blessed Virgin Mary walks with those who seek her, guiding them in ways they may not yet fully understand. Her presence is subtle, yet powerful. She does not force herself upon the faithful, but waits, patiently and lovingly, for them to turn toward her. The world may whisper doubts, may try to drown out the voice of faith with noise and distractions. But those who remain steadfast, who continue in prayer, will find themselves standing upon unshakable ground. The Blessed Virgin Mary does not lead her children into confusion, she leads them into clarity, into truth, into a love that casts out all fear. The soul that walks in faith does not walk alone. It is surrounded by unseen hands, lifted by unseen strength, and guided by unseen light. This is the promise of the Blessed Virgin Mary, that no matter how dark the night, the dawn will come. That no matter how heavy the burden, grace will be enough. Type 1414 to receive divine protection. Archangel Michael stands at the gates, his presence fierce yet reassuring. He watches over the faithful, his sword drawn not in anger, but in defense. He is the guardian of those who walk in the light, the protector of those who refuse to surrender to fear. His strength is not his own, but a reflection of the divine power that flows through all who believe. He fights not with violence, but with truth. Not with force, but with unwavering faith. He stands as a reminder that the battles of the Spirit are not fought with earthly weapons, but with prayer, with trust, with the unshakable certainty that light will always overcome darkness. The enemy seeks to bring doubt, to plant seeds of fear, to whisper lies into the minds of the faithful. But those who remain in prayer, who stay close to the Blessed Virgin Mary, will find themselves unshaken. They will see through the illusions, will recognize the truth, will walk forward with a confidence that cannot be taken from them. Type 1616 to receive breakthrough. As the days of prayer continue, the transformation within the soul becomes undeniable. The fears that once held power begin to lose their grip. The worries that once consumed the mind begin to fade. A new strength rises, a quiet but undeniable assurance that all is held within the hands of divine love. The Blessed Virgin Mary does not promise a life without trials, but she does promise to walk beside those who trust in her. She does not remove every challenge, but she gives the strength to overcome them. Her love is not a temporary comfort, it is an eternal promise. There are moments when the presence of grace is overwhelming, when the heart feels as if it might burst with the weight of divine love. And there are moments when grace works in silence, unseen but no less real. Both are gifts, both are proof that prayer is never in vain. Type 1818 to receive restoration. As the final days of this sacred prayer approach, the soul begins to recognize the changes that have taken place. The burdens that once seemed impossible to carry now feel lighter. The fears that once seemed so real have lost their power. There is a newfound peace, a strength that was not there before, a certainty that all is unfolding according to divine will. This is the gift of faith, not just to believe in miracles, but to recognize that every breath, every moment, every step is already a miracle. The Blessed Virgin Mary walks with those who call upon her, and her love never fades. She is the eternal Mother, the guiding star, the refuge in every storm. To complete this journey of 30 days is not to reach an end, but a new beginning. The soul that has walked this path has been changed, renewed, and strengthened. The connection to the divine has deepened, the presence of the Holy Mother has become a reality, and the heart has learned what it truly means to trust. Those who have walked this path will never walk alone again. The Blessed Virgin Mary remains, her love a constant presence, her guidance an unshakable truth. This is the promise of faith, that no matter where the road leads, no matter what trials may come, the divine is always near. Type 2020 to receive a lifetime of blessings.